Hello everyone, I am Manhar B, a student at the National Law School of India University, Bangalore, India. My essay entitled Of Powerful Particulars and Contingent Universals, Freedom, Feminism and Engaged Universalism has been awarded the first place in the Society for Humanistic Anthropology's President's Award for Student Scholarship Undergraduate Division. This essay emerges out of my engagement with the universal particular debate, especially in its political contexts. In this essay, I explored the theory of engaged universalism using Anna Singh's much acclaimed monograph, Friction. I am particularly interested in asking questions of the universal category of freedom. I'll now read bits of the essay from the concluding section, which is called Which Freedom is the Universal Freedom? I look finally at Leela Abu Lugod's seminal piece, Do Muslim Women Need Saving?, published in the face of the American rhetoric of liberating Afghan women using universal freedom. Abu Lugod contends that the transnational feminism and cultural relativism debates get it all wrong by creating artificial silos like the empowered women of the West and the burqa-clad women of the Middle East. She notes how the Western pioneer of freedom is astounded when a freed Afghan woman refuses to discard the burqa. The simple argument shakes the presuppositions of the entire universal particular debate. She asks, are emancipation, equality and rights part of a universal language we must use? What does it mean to be free, as I asked at the beginning of this essay, in different ways? And who is to say which one of those ways is the universal way of freedom? While Singh asks us to move beyond the confines of locality by recognizing the power of traveling universals, I am keen to assert that what moves is not a superior clean force. The universal of freedom we take for granted carries within it the Western Enlightenment-induced idea of what it means to be a free individual. Its universality is contingent on its originary particularity, which it can never be rid of. The use of the phrase contamination of the universal by some scholars presupposes that there is such an idea as a pure set of ideas, which is altered when it engages with specific contexts. I wish the reader to pause here and ask, can ideas even exist without practice? Are logos and praxis separable? Is bare freedom not simply Western freedom? As a logical corollary, therefore, would it be right to term the Afghan woman's version of freedom a contamination of the overarching correct version of the universal idea of freedom? My endeavor in this essay has been to argue that it is just another equally valid embodiment of freedom. It does not contaminate the idea of freedom, but embodies it in a different iteration, keeping alive the possibility of both a movement of the idea and its translation into political action. Therefore, while the question of the universal cannot be reduced to its site of origin, neither can we, in acknowledging its ability to travel, engage, and sometimes transcend, place too much reliance on an anchorless idea floating somewhere out there, ready to be contaminated by variegated particulars. Instead, universalism has to be seen as the movement of ideas, and a universal as any idea that has the aspirational ambition to engage with other particulars in a gesture of friction. Where does this leave us? On the one hand, I acknowledge the aspirational and mobile character of the universal and its ability to become transcontextual. On the other, my primary concern has been to bring out the contingent foundations of the universal and the fact that every universal is, after all, a particular which has been forcibly globalized. In other words, the narrative of freedom and transnational feminism does have value for its capacity to bring meaningful change, yet it is Western freedom regardless. How does one solve this apparent paradox? I believe that the paradox resolves itself when we bring into picture the hitherto neglected agency of the particular. While the origins of a universal lie in one locality, it means little without being contextualized through the act of translation across difference in another cultural location. I argue that this contextualization necessarily involves viewing the particular as a powerful actor that engages with the universal on its own terms and expresses its political and historical effectiveness. This is perhaps the starting point for the newer theory of universalism that Singh calls for. While acknowledging the power imbalance in the extant universalism of truth claims, it regards the particular as having enormous strength. Such a theory promises not only to shake off our comfortable set of assumptions regarding the universal particular debate, but also gives us space to understand and explore important political consequences of universals such as those of rights, freedom, feminism, and what have you. Thank you very much.